Hey y'all, I'm back again with the long overdue video. I meant to post this last week, but I didn't have a free time, so I have it now. So I just decided to go ahead and do my voiceover. Right here, I am putting on a base coat because as you can see, I already have two nails, which is done, the middle and the pointer finger. So I'm just applying a base coat to let the gel polish go on easy. Because I notice sometimes when I do gel polish and I don't have a base, it's kind of streaky or it just don't apply the way that I like it. But right here, I'm going up more than half of the nail, and right on the other two fingers, you see that it's like a nude color. And you guys, the black design that you see is a stamping. So I put together gel polish, acrylic, and stamping all in one mani. But with that pointer finger, that was like my test because this is my first time ever doing this. So I just wanted to test it just to see if it was able to be done, which it was. But the other fingers, I really didn't like the way that they came out. The best one that was in this mani was the middle finger because I think that I let it dry quite a while before I applied the acrylic over it. And I just did this all in like different colors because it's like springtime, so I wanted like a bright color nail mani this time. And I think I might do this again. So if you guys have any tips, any tricks with something like this, please comment down below because I will absolutely love to hear what you have to say. As you can see, I'm taking my hand out and then away from the camera, which means that I am, I want to say nuke for some reason, but I am putting my hand in the nail lamp and I am letting it, I'm just gonna say nuke. I am going to let it nuke for 60 seconds to cure that gel polish. I'm just going back over with a second layer right here, as you can see. And you guys, you don't really have to make this so straight like when you are polishing it, because it's going to be covered up a little bit, but you can still see the color with that nude, but that's okay. It just gives it more of a how do I want to say, more of like a blended look, if that's what you're going for. But and like I said, my middle finger came out looking the best, because on the other ones you're going to see like the stepping bled a little bit into each other. So I really didn't like that. And I, like I said, am testing this out. This is my first time ever doing something like this, and I'm kind of new to acrylic. I'm not gonna say that I'm new, but this is what I started out doing, was acrylic, but I sucked at it, so I stopped, and I literally just start picking it back up, I guess, like the beginning to last year, the end of last year to the beginning of this year. Right here, you see that I am going in. This is a Moyou stamping plate. I'm not sure. I should have looked and checked what plate this was, but they are discontinuing, not going out of business, but they're discontinuing their US plates. So we'll have that down in the description of what plate that I use. But right here, I'm just wiping this off, and I found out if I wipe off my plates as soon as I am finished with it, like the nail polish come off a little bit easier. As you guys know, if you've seen my other videos of stamping, I mixed in acetone and nail polish. That's what I'm using right now. But right here, I'm just going over this design, the zebra design, which I used all three of those zebra designs, as you see right there. And I'm just going over with black nail polish, and I am just going to use a scraper, going to scrape it down lightly. But you want a little pressure, but not a lot of pressure, because if you put too much pressure on it, you're gonna scrape too much gel polish off. And you might see me go over a couple of times just to make sure. And see how beautiful that stamp came out. It is so beautiful. But once I go over it with that clear, you are going to see how it changed and like bleed into the other lines a little bit, like I said earlier. But as you can see, the stamp was on point. I did not mess up on that one. But like I said, when you're doing lines like this, that I found out, you kind of need a little bit more polish to get in between those lines, especially if you are doing like little small lines. It helps a lot. But right here, I'm just flipping it over. I think I'm going to go over the other stamps and go the opposite way, because I didn't want to mess up, I don't know, I didn't want it to bleed into the other one, or it was easier for me to like stamp this way. I think that's the reason why I turned my stamping plate like that, because it's just easier for me instead of going from the top when it's lines like this, because like I said, it's a little bit harder for me, excuse me, for me when it's lines like that, to go that way. And once again, you are going to hold your scraper down at like a 40-degree angle, so it's like pretty much parallel to the stamping plate, like it's almost down to the stamping plate. You're going to scrape, and then you're going to roll with little to no pressure. And once again, this came out so beautiful. And I am just so glad that I'm actually getting this stamping down, because I have been doing it for a few years, but now I'm just starting to get it, like, I'm not going to say perfect, but really, really good, to where I don't have to constantly keep going over that same image. So cleaning off the plate, going back, cleaning off the plate. So don't get me wrong, because I still have to do that sometimes, but I don't have to do it every single time that I stamp now. So I am really proud of myself for that. Right here, I am just about to go over with a nude from Mia's Secret, which I am going to show you guys at the end of this. And if you have any tips, like I said, any tips, especially with the acrylic, I am more than likely to listen and hear what you guys have to say, because to me, I am still new to acrylics. And for me, I got this and found this from, I think it was Facebook, like a long time ago, because I was still looking at acrylic videos, even though I wasn't doing it. So like, I just tap my brush, my acrylic brush, against my glass right here, as you can see, and I do it like 3 times, because no matter if I do it 1 time, that is a large bead. If I do it 2 times, that's a medium bead. And if you do it, tap it 3 times against that glass, that it should be a small bead, but sometimes you can pick up a medium bead with that as well. And you just tap your brush in the powder, the acrylic. For me, I know a lot of people like their beads, I'm not gonna say a little bit drier. I don't really know how to explain it, but for me, I like to work with my bead a tad bit runny. It's not running to where it's running all over the place. I still am able to control where that bead go. And I'm sorry that I am out of focus, but I kind of had to focus on myself with the acrylic to make sure I didn't get too close to the cuticle, which some of them I did. So that's what I'm learning now, is to learn to control my beads near my cuticle area. And for me, I do about like 4 or 5 acrylic beads usually, because I don't want to do too big of an acrylic bead and then I can't like control it or it dry too fast on me. So me personally, I like to work with like multiple beads. I know some people have the one method bead down. Maybe one day I'll get to that, maybe I won't, and that's okay. As you can see on that nail right there, you guys, how it kind of bled into the other lines, and you see like the pinky, how perfect it is. You're going to be able to tell on that one too that once I start doing it, it's going to look like muddy. So basically that's what I'm saying when I say that it runs and bleed into each other, like the fingernail polish runs into each other, which it doesn't make it really cute, but it turned out okay for this to be my first time. Like I said, I think that I should have let it dry a little bit. So but I've kind of like went right into it, and I don't think that I wiped these down before I started. So maybe that's what I should have did, because I think that's what I did with that blue one. Or I should say, like, yeah, the blue one, the middle finger, is before I did my acrylic. I think that I like wiped it down really, really good before I went over with the acrylic. But like I said, I capped like the bottom part, like the sorry you guys, like I can't really talk that good, so I mess up a lot when I'm speaking in these videos, but that's just me. So right here, as you can see, I capped my zebra design in a clear first, and then I went back with that nude color, which is really, really gorgeous. I actually got this color to like for my daughter because she usually just love nude colors on her nails, and maybe a color with the French or something. But I'm still working on her with her nails too, because she says that I take too long when I do nails, and I do when it comes to her, because I'm still learning like her nail chemistry. Not everybody nail chemistry is the same, so I'm still learning like what works for her, what don't works for her, because what might work for me might not work for her. But I'm just still in the learning process for this, and she don't really understand. But you guys, if you can also give me tips of like when you doing acrylic, like what's the best way to do like French design on acrylic. Like, do you guys like buff your nails out first? Because I see a lot of people do theirs with like they'll buff it on the smoother side, but I find like that kind of don't work for me. I have a hard problem with that, but I see some people use like acrylic was it primer? I don't have any of that. I'm not sure if the primer that I have will work for that. Or do you guys use a gel base? Do you guys use a matte top coat? Like I said, do you buff? Because I know I see some people go over with a nail file sometimes and like lightly buff to rough up their area. But what do you guys do for like your French when you are doing French nails? Please let me know. And because when it comes to her, I don't know, like sometimes she make me nervous when I do her nails, and I think that's why another reason why it takes me forever, because I know she's like going to get like restless, and then she's always on their phone, she's always moving, then she sits to the side while I'm trying to like make her hand straight, and it's hard for me sometimes. So maybe I should just start putting on movies or TV for us when I start doing her nails. But like I said, it takes me a very long time to do her nails, so I'm going to say it probably takes me like 4 or 5 hours just to do her nails all together, with like maybe a little longer with designs that she wants. And I just did her nails like Friday, was it Wednesday? It was last week. I just did her nails, and I end up just doing the beige color. I haven't even did the French nails that she wanted yet. So I might not even do that, because I wanted to do it on like a fresh base, I guess. But maybe I will go in and try to do it, because she wanted like this same kind of nail design, which was like this zebra print. Oh, you guys, so like I said, I am a DIYer when it comes to multiple things. I don't really like buying stuff. Like, if I can make it myself, for the most part, that's what I'm going to do. So if you guys want me to like show you guys like a nail barrier, which is like aka like nail latex, nail tape, it goes by those 3 things that I know of. So it's like when you do like a nail design, especially for like stamping or water marbling, it is amazing, because you could just take the tape off. That's what you see around that orange stuff around my nails. If you guys want me to show you guys how to make that, I mean, it's so freaking easy. It's literally only like, I'll say 2 to 3 items to make, which if you have kids, you already have maybe like one of the products. The other one you have in your house for free. So if you want me to like show you guys how to make that, I absolutely will, because it's sometimes, if you like, it's hard to get that stuff, because that stuff is kind of expensive depending on what website that you go to. And I think it was like $5 on Amazon to get some. And I think that like on websites like I use Manny Boss when I do like dip powder and dip liquids, and I really haven't been doing that in a while. But when I do, I use like them and Azure low odor, because like I get it messes up my nose, so like, or my allergies, so I'm kind of like allergic to it. Like the smell is so loud and so overpowering that like I end up getting like cold symptoms. So I have to try to use low odor. But I notice when I use Manny Boss, it's not as bad as when I use other companies. But I just found out that Manny Boss is kind of pricey as well, but I absolutely love like their dip liquids. I really haven't tried anything else of theirs, but they have like the latex, like what I just said, and a peel base. I actually make my own peel base too, but I want to make it to where like if I'm doing dip, it's easy to like pop off. It's easier to pop off when I'm doing gel polish and not so much anything else. But I guess like because usually I'll use like a top coat on top of it, and makes it like, sometimes it comes off so easy. I'm sorry if I'm going off the rail here, but as you can see, if I keep talking about it, I'm just tapping it right here to make sure that it's hard. I should have left that sound in, but like, the sound that you like if you wear heels, or the sound of when a heel is clacking, or when you have longer nails and like you hear like this tap right here, like did you hear that? Like, that's better. So like, if you hear that, like if you tapping your nails on a table or a surface, that's the noise that you want to hear, just to make sure your acrylic is drying properly, because you don't want to foul it while it is still in the drying process. And because it'll take like chunks out of your acrylic, and you don't want to like have to go back over it and redo it. Right here, I'm just going over with an e-file around my cuticles and sealing the area or my sides and my cuticle area. And like I said, I'm sorry that I went off the rail a little bit, but I mean, you would have been hearing me talking about the same thing over and over and over. Oh, and you guys, I got a new freaking brush. This one right here that I got, it is the old brush that I used. And I think it's a Model 1. That brush is okay, but it tends to get, like, if you don't wipe it almost every time you go over with the acrylic, it kind of like get like acrylic and products kind of get stuck in it. But it's okay, because not a lot, and I've had this brush for over like maybe 2-3 years or so. It's a pretty good brush for a beginner. But I actually got like this Panda acrylic brush. Oh my God, what a world of difference that it makes. Oh my God, when they say get like quality nail products, because it lasts you, and like your your work comes out a little bit better, that's no lie, you guys. Because like, I did one that I didn't record, and like the set I have on now is like the best my cuticle area has ever been with like an acrylic brush. It makes a world of difference, and I did not want to pay that much for a nail brush, because this was like the cheapest one that I can find. I think it was like $22 for that brush, and like I said, I'm cheap, and I did not want to spend my money on that brush, but I'm so glad that I did, because it made it so much better. The application so much smoother and so much easier to do, and I like did it faster than I thought that I would have done. So you don't have to like keep like once you go over the application, keep putting it on the paper towel, like pat, brush it off on the paper towel. You don't have to keep doing that when it is a when it is a good quality brush. Yes, you still have to like clean it off as you're doing it, but not as much as with a lower quality acrylic brush. And like I said, Model 1 is pretty good. It is a pretty good brush for the price that it was. And I think it was like, because like I said, I had it like 2-3 years now, maybe more, but it was let me see, I think it was like maybe $12 to $14 for that brush, and it's still in good condition. It is the quality of it is still kind of like when I just got it. So I'm excited to use and see how well the Panda brush lasts and how good it is. And also, if you want your brushes to like last longer, like, you have to make sure you take care of them so they last longer. I might do a video on how I clean my brushes and how I've seen other people clean their brushes over the years and in the videos that I have seen and that I have watched, which really helped me out to keep my brushes or my brush in good condition. And right here, you guys, all I'm doing is just like I said, sealing and filing my nails, just taking the lumps and the bumps out of them, like smoothing them out. But for that pointer finger, that nail is just like, that one's just gonna be my messed up nail because I had already top coated it and everything. So for the rest of the nails, I'm just using my e-file and like a buffer to buff out the scratches and to make it as smooth as possible. And when I put that top coat on, I actually put I think I only used, no, so for the two that I did, I used a gel polish, and I actually wanted to go over with a regular nail polish, which I used Ceviche. I think that's how it's Ceviche, I don't know, but I use that one. If somebody can recommend another top coat, because that one, like, I've had it for a little while, but I swear it thickens up so fast. So like when I put it on, you kind of have to like it like goops up. And I think I had it for like less than a year. And every time I buy that, it's really good though. And it really gives an amazing shine. But for me, the shelf life on that is not really that good for me personally. So if you could recommend like a regular top coat, that would be amazing. And I know I've used Sally Hansen's fast drying, the one in the yellow, the red and white bottle. That one's okay. And right here, you guys, I'm just doing my thumb. Like I said, I always do my thumb last. Because as well, especially when I'm doing gel polish, because like I said, I don't want to mess up my gel polish when it comes to that thumb, because you want to make sure that that product is absolutely cured, which is going to be 60 seconds, because when you do all of your hands, all 5 of your hands together in that nail lamp, your thumb is not flat like the rest of your 4 fingers. So it might not get cured all the way. So you want to make sure you do that separately and lay that thumb down in that nail lamp to make sure that it is cured properly. And for my gel polishes, I always use like a 2 coats, sometimes maybe 3. For me, I find like, you see how like these neon colors, like the neon colors for me is kind of streaky. I don't know why, and it's I have like this yellowish green one. For me, that one never turns out like as good as I want it, no matter if I use a base or not. I don't know, but I see other people using it and with the same brand, and theirs is like flawless. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong with like these neon colors, but I gotta be doing something wrong. But 2 coats is usually what I do for, like, I'm not gonna say my basic gel polishes, but for like any other besides like the jelly ones. When I use jelly, sometimes I'll do like maybe 3 coats, depending on how opaque that I want the color to be, and if I have a design up under it. And you guys, if you guys want me to like do a certain design or try something, just let me know in the comments and I will try my best to do it. Plus that, like, help me like further my like it helps me get out of my comfort zone and further like my nail design area, because that's what I want to do. Because sometimes I have like so many ideas in my head and they just don't turn out right sometimes when I actually put them on my nails. But sometimes I do rush them, which means like they don't turn out as well as I planned them. Sometimes I have them in my head and they just still don't go the way that I thought they would when I put them on my nails. I actually have like a nail hand to practice on, but I don't like, it won't stick to my table, so it always like pops off, and I don't like it to just sit it like down on something or on the table. Like I need that stability. Like it helps me, especially when like I'm filing and stuff like that. A lot of people don't need that, but like I need that, and the only way I can use that thing is if I am using it, you guys, because I'm in my living room. So like I'm literally like right by my and I live in an apartment, so I really like literally I'm right next to my back door. So like I have to like my back patio door, so I literally have to stick that thing on my window, and it like it's perfect on there. But like if I do it on my table, it's like dusty, or like it just won't stick because it is wood, and I just feel weird recording like in that angle, I guess. But I don't know. But right here, as you can see, this one didn't bleed as much as the other two fingers did, the ring finger and the pinky finger did. And this one turned out a little bit better than those two. But right here, I am just placing some clear acrylic over it. And what I found out when I first started acrylic is I used to like do it with like a heavy hand, so it would drag so much of that product off. And by watching many videos, I found out that like you really just have to pat and lightly brush down, lightly brush, not so heavy-handed, because that's what I was doing, and then which it creates like dents and bumps all in your foundation when you're doing that. So just lightly tap when you are like putting that acrylic on and brushing it down. And what I found out as well that helps with like the cuticle area, this was really good too with me around that cuticle area. So is to hold your finger down so the product run down, which helps a whole lot. Like it helps so much, instead of like having your finger like straight or pointed more towards your body. So I would say, like, as you can see in this video, like how my nail is kind of like tilted down a little bit, that helps a lot. So like when you doing acrylic, kind of have your finger tilted down, because it helps, like I said, the products to run down the finger, which you don't have to do so much work. So some of that work is actually being done for you, so you just have to lightly pat and lightly brush down. And I also found out when like if you so you use like the tip of the brush to how do I want to say, like you use like the tip to apply it, and to like I really don't know what I'm trying to say like right here, but like you see how I'm using like the tip of that right there to like bring that acrylic down and to slightly brush it down. So like when it's like when you already have that down, and if it's like in the middle of that nail where like the thicker the apex, like you can actually use like the body of the brush to like pat it down to make it a little bit easier and to brush down instead of using the tip of the brush right here. But this acrylic was like pretty easy and a dream to use as well. It went on super smooth. Some people was like it really wasn't that good, like they had like a problem with it, but I actually love this acrylic. And I'm glad that I got it because I was researching and didn't know which one to get. And like as usual, I went on YouTube. This one kept coming up, so I was like, let me just give it a try. And I know I was going to try like Valentino, some of the other bigger companies, but I just went with this one because I already have some dip powder and stuff from them, and I already know how good the quality of the products is. And this, like I said, this acrylic is so good, and it like so smooth and so like velvety. So that helped me out a lot as well. Sorry you guys, helped me out as well with like doing this acrylic set, which made it like so much easier and a breeze. And I'm sorry that like I took so long just for like 3 nails. It almost took me like 40 minutes just to do 3 nails, but like I said, it is like acrylic, so it takes me a little bit longer, and I'm, like I said, do multiple beads in this set. But right here I might have did like 5 or 6, I don't know, but you have to make sure you get that apex just right, because if you don't get that, and that doesn't matter what you're doing, if you're doing polygel, acrylic, dip powder, like if you have nails that's like long like this or have length on it, you want to make sure you build a really good apex. I've learned that on my daughter because like a lot of her nails have broken in the past because her apex is not really that well, because that basically is what's holding the weight of your nails is the apex, and the apex is like the widest part of your nails for the most part. What I found out that I've seen in a video, and I think that's really good, and that it was helpful for me, especially for my own nails, was like if you take like your finger before you put any product on it and you press it down, and where it like red turns like red and white, it like that's like where your apex is. I'm not sure if I'm explaining that really good, but like you just put your finger, press down, and wherever you see like it looks like it's red and the top of that, that's pretty much where your apex is. Like I said, your apex is like and you can see right here in the video where that thick like hump is, that's my apex, and that is where you are trying to look for on your own nails. If you're trying to do your own nails, is you're trying to look for like that. And this is right here is like the Cover Nude Blush Mia's Secret acrylic powder. Like I said, it's really, really good. I really love it, and if I run out of it, I'm going to get more. And I actually have another one. I think it's like it's smaller than this, but it is a almond. It's almond, and it's really pretty. It is a little bit lighter, if I'm not mistaken, than this nude blusher, but I absolutely love this this acrylic, like from Mia's Secret. It is really good. Like I said, it was so easy for me to use. And this is like the end of the video, and thank you guys for watching. Come back. Bye. See you guys later.